photographer get tired and all, or he is about to change his film and all, that time that fellow does all sorts of tricks. One spends years together, and then we understand certain things which we did not know before, about the animals, about birds, about nature, about weather, about the various stars and planets. It's quite amazing. People spend hours, days, years together observing the stars, and then they suddenly discover a new planet. And it's a great joy. So a lot of knowledge is there. But what is the ultimate in all knowledge? See, all this knowledge which we gain about the world, which gives us joy, which makes our life easy, which helps us to interact with the world in a better way, all of them are good in a way, but they are incomplete because they lack one important factor. They lack the knowledge of the self. They lack the knowledge of the one who is gaining knowledge. I know the world, but I don't know myself. I know about atoms, I know about the planets, I know about the stars, I know about the plants and animals, but I don't know who I am. Then it is incomplete. Because the one who knows, one should be able to know that person also. We assume that we know ourselves. We assume that I have knowledge about myself, I just want to know about the world. But without knowing myself, whatever I know is incomplete because what I know is my interpretation of it. If I am not very sure about who I am, my interpretation of the world will be incomplete. I don't say it is totally wrong, but incomplete. So Raja Vidya is that Atma Vidya, knowledge about our own self. When I say self, it includes the world and it includes God. That is the beauty of this knowledge. Self-knowledge doesn't mean knowledge of ego. Self-knowledge doesn't mean knowledge of our personality, outer personality, of our mind, our intellect. Self-knowledge doesn't mean psychology. It's not just knowledge of mind and how it functions. Self-knowledge is knowledge of that supreme self, which is the witness of our waking, dream, and deep sleep state, which remains unchanged in all the changing phenomena. Unless I know this self, all my knowledge is incomplete only. It's like, just to give an example of that rope and snake. Rope and snake is very good. So rope is lying and you look at it and it appears like a snake. And suppose you have all the knowledge about the snake. What is the color of the snake, whether it is poisonous or non-poisonous, and how he behaves, and how he looks. Everything you know about the snake, except that the snake is a rope. This knowledge you don't have, but otherwise everything you know. Then that is incomplete knowledge. Similarly, you know everything about everything, but don't know who you are, then whatever you know is incomplete. It's not proper. It doesn't have a reference point. What is its reference? Its reference is on assumption. Its reference is on ego. Who knows all this? Ego knows. So if the reference is the self, then everything becomes very clear. If the center is known properly, the circumference becomes very clear. Though there are millions and millions of points on the circumference, on this circle. If you know the center properly, you know the circumference. The beauty of the whole circle is that it is the same distance from the center. But that point, if it is not known, the central point, and you know all the points, it becomes pointless. Similarly, this Raja Vidya, self-knowledge, is that center, knowing which everything becomes known. There is a beautiful Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, in which the disciple approaches the teacher and he asks this question, "Oh my dear teacher, give me that knowledge, knowing which everything becomes known." Kasminno bhagavo vidnyatam sarvamidam vidnyatam bhavati iti. That knowing which all becomes known, and to him the teacher reveals the self-knowledge. So Raja Vidya, but at the same time, this is Raja Guhyam, though it is the most fascinating and beautiful of all knowledge, king of all knowledge, but still it is the topmost secret, Raja Vidya, the king of all secrets. It is such a great secret that we might be whole life we will live without even having a glimpse of that. Only by the blessings of the teacher, blessings of the scriptures, if that thought comes in our mind to recognize it, we will be able to realize it. Otherwise, see, there are millions of people are born in this world and they die also without even knowing the existence of such a phenomena, such a great... we may appreciate others also. We may appreciate Gautam Buddha. We may appreciate other realized master. We may do namaskar to them also, but we may not have that desire to become like them, or may not even have the idea that it is possible, or may not have desire in our mind for that. We may not have desire. That is fine. You remain a Mahatma, I remain myself. Now and then I will do namaskar to you, but I have my own agenda in life. So Raja Guhya, top secret about my own self. I am the mystery of this world. This self is the most mysterious. Even when I realize it, I become one with the mystery. It cannot be revealed completely even by the one who has realized it. Even the scriptures who talk about the self talk about it as neti neti, not this, not this, not this much. It tells us what it is not, but what it is, we have to experience ourselves. When we learn what it is not, we can shift our attention from what it is not. But it fails to say what it is, because words becomes incomplete. Words are related to the objects of this world. Words fail to describe that supreme reality completely. So it is Raja Guhyam, the topmost secret. Sometimes this Raja Guhyam, royal secrets, especially about royalty and all, can be very impure also. But Bhagavan says here, it is pavitram. This secret is not something bad or impure. It is pavitram idam uttamam, greatest purifier. It is the purest of all. In the 4th chapter also Bhagavan had said that nahit jnanena sadrusham pavitramiha vidyate, that there is nothing more purifying than knowledge. Because all other purifying factors of this world purify our body, purify our mind, but the one who commits sin continues to exist. So the sinner continues to commit sin. It's like take a dip in Gangaji, we become pure, then again commit some more sin, then again take a dip, then again we are pure. But this knowledge destroys the sinner, dissolves the sinner. The sinner itself gets dissolved. It's like a person who is in jail. He can do something by which his life in jail can become better. But it is one thing to remain in jail, and it's another thing to come out of it totally. Similarly, by the other methods of this world, even religious method of performing some special yajna, puja, one can purify, one can overcome some of our negativities, but the sinner continues to remain. That ego continues to exist. But with this knowledge, the ego dissolves. And when that ego dissolves, the real self shines forth. It's like when the clouds move away, the sun gets revealed. The ego, when it gets dissolved, I come to recognize myself as I am. This ego is the sinner. The ego is the one who is creating all mischief in this world. We maintain that ego and purify the other things so that ego's life becomes more happy. But ego remains. So ego gets dissolved. Therefore, this is the greatest of all purifier. It purifies that one, the source of all impurity. It removes that completely. So, pavitram idam uttamam, uttamam pavitram, the best purifier. Oh, the royal knowledge, the royal secret, the best purifier must be very difficult, must be just theory. He says, no, pratyaksha avagamam. See, all these factors are very important of this knowledge. Pratyaksha avagamam means pratyaksha, directly experience, can be experienced directly. It is something which can be experienced directly. Avagamam pratyaksha. Direct experience can be gained. It is not theory. When Bhagavan reveals our nature as that pure consciousness, as the witness of this whole world, as the substratum of this world, as existing in all beings, as the one factor which appears like this world, one can experience this directly. Like great Mahatmas who have experienced directly. You try to confuse them about it, they will not get confused. It is that it's like a fruit in one's hand, hasta malakam, like a fruit kept in it's there. Similarly, see, there are some experience which we gain through some media. That's called mediate with the media. Like with our eyes we see, with our ears we hear. So there is a media in between. If the media is defective, the knowledge which is gained also becomes defective. Sometimes our eyes themselves are defective, like we see something but it's not very clear. And then we take help of other eyes. वो कौन है वो? शर्मा जी लगते हैं. So the fellow says, नहीं वो वर्मा जी है. हाथ में 2 थैली है, वर्मा जी ही होंगे. So, for seeing something we require eyes, for hearing something we ears, for feeling something we require our mind, for understanding something we require intellect, but there can be defect in our senses, defect in our mind, defect in our intellect, so all our understanding can be defective. Therefore, they are just opinion. What we know about the knowledge in this world are just opinions about various people. Some opinions appears to be more lasting and more satisfying. So what is so special about this? This knowledge is free from all media. It is called immediate knowledge. You don't require mind to know this. You don't require intellect to know this. You don't require senses to know this. When you transcend all this, you know yourself by yourself. It doesn't require any media. Therefore, it is defectless. No defect. It is not an opinion. Self-realization is not opinion of a one person. It is the fact. It is the truth as it is. Because there is no media. Media can create, you know about the media. So many channels, all channels sometimes show the same thing in a different way, like depends on what they want to, whose side they want to take. So, and it has got its own defect, means the medias have their own defect. So self-knowledge is when we transcend all this. The body is transcended, the mind is transcended, the intellect is transcended. I come to know myself by myself. So one realized person and another realized person is same. What they have realized is same. When they express it through words, through their mind, through the intellect, it appears different. Their expression is different. Therefore, there is a very beautiful saying, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. That Sat is one, but wise people talk about it in different language. It's like flower is one in front of us, but when 10 people talk about it, they will talk about it in different ways. It might appear they are talking about some different flower. You keep one, all of you are attending this. If suppose all of you are told to talk about it for 5 minutes, or your opinion, your expression about it, all of you will say different things. It may appear as though you were attending some different classes altogether. Even today's lecture, if you have to repeat it, everyone will repeat differently actually. Sometimes so differently you are surprised, like, ऐसा कहा मैंने? Why? Because you are listening with a medium of your mind, of your intellect, and medium, they have their own colors. Our mind is filled with so many emotions, and every emotion colors whatever we hear, and everything is colored. Our intellect is filled with so many opinions, so many biases, and everything colors whatever we hear. So by its nature, the mediums or media are defective. I am talking about ourselves. The senses, the mind, the intellect, they have their inherent defect. Taking into account this inherent defect, the scriptures have told us how to transcend them. We take their help to transcend them. We take the help of the mind to transcend the mind. We take the help of the intellect to transcend the intellect. Before the intellect knows what is happening, intellect is dropped. Meditation is a technique by which we transcend the media and experience the truth as it is. Therefore, Bhagavan says it is pratyaksha avagamam, direct experience. Pratyaksha. Oh, direct experience. But is it good? Is it righteous? He said, dharmyam. This is the most righteous thing to do. Many people, they have feeling that, oh, following this path of moksha, following this path of enlightenment is not dharmic. Jagat ke liye kuch karna chahiye, iske liye kuch karna chahiye. Bhagavan says it is the most dharmic. Because as you follow this path, you will become an asset to the whole world. Whatever you do will be a blessing to the whole world. Gautam Buddha, no, he should have become a prince, then he should have taken care of his wife and children, and he should have ruled the kingdom. That would have been okay, but what he had achieved is a blessing to the whole world. If he had become a great king also, all his kingdom and all that he had done would have wiped out in this long passage of history, but his enlightenment will remain ever, blessing the whole world. It will remain ever. It's something which transcends time and transcends geography and transcends everything. Becomes helpful to the entire world. One enlightened person is a blessing to the entire world. It doesn't matter whether he is in India or in another country, or whether he is from one religion or another religion, it doesn't matter. Becomes a blessing to the entire world. So it is dharmyam, it is dharmic, the greatest dharma, to follow this path of enlightenment and experience one's own that self. So pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam. Oh, must be very difficult. People have this feeling that this is the most difficult thing, Maybe many lifetimes we have to spend. इस जन्म में नहीं हो सकता है. If we have this firm conviction that इस जन्म में नहीं हो सकता है, as I said, it will नहीं हो सकता है. Because we follow our mind, justifies our conviction. Our intellect tries to justify our conviction. It's a very strange psychology. If we think it is possible, it is possible. If we think and we are convinced that it is not possible, somehow something will happen and it will not be possible. Whatever philosophy we have in our life tries to follow that philosophy. If we believe in, for example, just example, Vastu and all people have. इधर दरवाज़ा हमारा है, बहुत बुरा होता है, इधर बाथरूम है, उधर किचन है, इधर सोने का है, उधर जागने का है. So all these ideas they have, इससे हमारा ऐसा होगा, इससे नुकसान हो सकता है, then actually you will experience that. Because it's a world functions in a very strange way. We will try to encourage those things which happens around. So it's a lot of things depends on our deep faith and conviction. If we have a negative conviction, our life moves in that negative way. And sometimes it becomes, for people, it becomes easier to fall down in negative way only. Even so-called our people who are well-wishers, they also have negative ideas in their head. Our own parents made for, ये तो बच्चा तो फेल ही होगा, इसका तो कोई भरोसा नहीं है. That fellow did not study, fail ही होगा. Firm conviction is there in her heart. But when that fellow comes for आशीर्वाद, आशीर्वाद है मेरा, आशीर्वाद देते, but अंदर से the feeling that ये तो फेल होगा. And then सचमुच वो फेल होता है तो she is very happy. See, मैंने बोला था. So we should be very careful about the philosophies we accept in life. This is from a worldly standpoint, but ultimately we should accept what Bhagavan is telling us here. He is such a wonderful thing he is revealing. So let there be, if at all we want to live in this illusory world, first you try to have philosophy which makes the illusion right. Right? But the best is to transcend the illusion. Like, okay, very good example, rope and snake. I like that example, You see a snake. The best thing is, if you at all see the snake, then believe that it is non-poisonous. No, it's poisonous snake. Then it will be more harmful. If you believe that it is a snake and it is a non-poisonous snake, it is less harmful. But if you believe that it is poisonous, definitely it will create a lot of problem. I remember somebody told me a story that one person got bitten by the snake, but he did not know it is a snake. He thought some kuch kata laga. Then next day, it was at night and all. Next day he went to the same place and he saw a dead snake there. And suddenly he realized this was the one who bit me, and he died instantly there itself. Otherwise he was fine. रात में फर्स्ट क्लास आलू पराठा वगैरह खा के he was very happy. But when he saw that dead snake, he suddenly realized the whole thing and he died. So one should understand, Bhagavan here says, Susukham kartum. This is very easy to follow. You just accept it. That is the first step. Your mind may resist because our ego doesn't like easy things. Ego doesn't like easy things. See, when everyone can climb Mount Everest, there is no fun. But if you alone can climb, others cannot climb, you feel more proud about it. मेरे पास है, दूसरे के पास नहीं. मैं कर सकता हूँ, दूसरे नहीं कर सकते हैं. Then you feel more happy. But if you see everyone doing it, then there is no fun. Ego likes to do difficult things. Ego likes to, to appear spatial. It starts right from childhood actually. बच्चे वहाँ पर. The child jumps and then, oh, I can jump, my other brother cannot jump and I am the best one and all. It starts from there. So when it is said, Bhagavan says, Susukham kartum, it is very easy to follow. Ego may not like to accept this. Ego might say that, oh, it is so simple. I don't think it is so simple. बहुत difficult है, Bhagavan को क्या है? But you just accept it. against your ego, against your will. You accept that it is easy and it will start becoming, or you will start experiencing it as easy. Susukham kartum, very easy to follow. See, it is very difficult to hold on to something, but to release is easy. Just we have to change our mindset. Once that mindset is changed, it becomes easy. Even the most so-called difficult things, once one knows the trick, becomes very easy. Sahaja. So here Bhagavan will reveal the secret which you will understand. It is really very easy. Susukham kartum. Chanting it might be difficult, but susukham. That is proper. Susukham kartum. Very easy to follow. Oh, if it is easy to follow and easy to this, then must be not lasting. He said, avyayam, it is everlasting, imperishable. The realization which we attain, it lasts forever. It is not something which we have to again and again. Anything in this world, after attaining it, it doesn't last, it goes away. That which is attained through action doesn't last. That which is attained through knowledge lasts forever. Because it is our own nature which is everlasting. We have to just recognize it is not the result of action, it is the result of knowledge. Therefore, it is everlasting. Whatever we gain through action, it has got its own limited period. Afterwards, it goes away. But still, we are fascinated by action, we are fascinated by the results of action. But here, it's the result of knowledge, result of enlightenment, it is everlasting. So this is the greatness of this knowledge. After telling us the greatness of the knowledge, Bhagavan will reveal it, so that we will see in our class tomorrow. Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.